Okay, everybody, here's the drawing. These are two French revolutionaries in disguise. It's these two gentlemen right here, and there's this really prominent shape of one side of an infinity symbol. So like this is like the half of an infinity symbol, and it's basically how they traveled and how they went through history, because these men were in the French court and they infiltrated the French court very successfully. They were not from the French court. They were not even from France, and they were not from that particular time period. And this infinity symbol has a little bit to do with how they traveled and how they were able to move around. This black and white checker pattern for the background has to do with some of the practices of the court, whether they were like hidden practices or not. It's just a color that I picked up. I know I didn't draw it correctly in perspective, but I was just trying to get the information down. Here is one of the men. This guy here with this very strange, like, courtly outfit is this gentleman right here. And as you can see, this is his reflection in a mirror, because they were able to go in and out of mirrors. I think that might have had to do with how they entered and exited the time travel, or else maybe they could just go through walls or something. Nobody really questioned them a lot, I think, because they were very exacting in their moves and making sure nobody saw what they were doing. But also they said that they were very handsome. And so apparently in the French court, your looks count for a lot. So if you're very handsome, then people don't really question what you're doing or something, or else they kind of were able to mesmerize other people around them with their looks, maybe having some sort of, visual effect on others that made others not want to question who or what they were doing. But their main mission here was to do research, was to track people, to track movement, and also to sign and read a lot of documents. So they were reading quite a bit, poring over documents, and I do think they were active somehow in the French Revolution. However, it was hard for me to imagine these two being violent, because they are, of course, time travelers, but who am I to say? I mean, this is just what I'm picking up here. They're here with us today. These two gentlemen are probably on the earth plane right now, like somewhere, maybe even in Washington, D.C. I don't really know. But they're with us today, and their job now is to finish what they started. And it's also to put things the way that they should have been. They're the things that they could not make right at the time of the French Revolution, because when the French Revolution happened, there were a few things that took place that they had not anticipated, they didn't foresee happening, and so they weren't able to properly complete the French Revolution or something like that. They weren't able to really put things in the place that they wanted them to be. They're going to correct all of that now. It's not just that there are only two men here, but those are the only two that came up in this drawing. So obviously there's a larger group, and they're time travelers, and they are revolutionary. So if you are a history buff, or you know a lot about the French Revolution and you watch these videos, maybe this is for you. One name that kind of came up was Richelieu. I looked up Cardinal Richelieu, and he lived before the French Revolution, but since these are revolutionaries and time travelers, they could have also visited him, which would have been a century or two before. So I hope you like this drawing, and I'll be back with another drawing before you know it. Bye.